That can't be it. Got no steeple, no bells. Rick.
Today I'm here to give my prediction speculation for The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 12, titled Still, so let's get started. Now, the clip you just seen in the beginning of the video comes from The Walking Dead Season 2, Episode 1, titled What Lies Ahead. Now, in that clip, you see Rick and his group discover a small Baptist church, and you see them run through the grave site, and you also see them run to that church. And I'm going to explain to you why I think this small Baptist church might be in this episode, but let me add this. As you can tell, the church might be remodeled, because I remember season 2 came out in 2011. So it's been about 2 or 3 years almost. So the people might have remodeled the church. I'm talking about a real life perspective. They might have remodeled it. So let's get started. And I will be looking at the promo itself, but you will not hear no audio because I got on headphone sets. No, we'll give my overall thoughts. So let's get started. First, we see Beth and we see Daryl, and we see them by an abandoned car. And we can see, and we can hear Beth talking, but it's not actually coming from her mouth. It's kind of like a commentary, and it's coming from Beth, and she's talking about her diary. Now, remember, in episode 9 of season 4, I think she mentioned that she stopped. I think she mentioned that episode 10 of season 4, she mentioned that she stopped writing in her diary after they came to the prison, but now she said she was going to pick back up her diary and write again. In this episode, she's writing in her diary again. She's talking about how long they've been out surviving on their own after the prison incident happened, and they had to leave the prison. Okay. Next, she says, we just need a safe place to be. And we see, look like a small Baptist church in the field back. It's way in the back. Really can't see nothing. And I think, and the reason why I think this is the same small Baptist church from season 2, possibly, like I said, it's just prediction and speculations, but I think it is the same Baptist church. Also, if you pay attention to that Baptist church and you really look close to it, you can see graveyard sites. You can see graveyards by the church. Now, remember, in one of the promos for season 4, we saw Daryl running through a graveyard. Now, the clip that I just put up in the beginning of this episode, we see Rick, we see Shane, we see the rest of them running through a graveyard. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't any other funeral home or church homes that the writers don't go to or shoot at or shoot the scenes at. But like I said, it's possible this could be the same church. Reason being, and this right here is a point I came up with. In one of the promos for season 4, I think it's called the February Return promo, we see Beth walking in the front of the camera, and we see something burning in the back of it. And I came up with this prediction myself. I say, well, maybe they go back to Herschel's farm like they did in the comic book, except it's different now. Abraham is not there, because first, when they had went back to Herschel's farm in the comic book, they went back after the prison incident happened, and Abraham was there, but now it's different because Abraham them is not there. So possibly they go back to Herschel's farm, and Beth might burn it down because we see something burning in the background. I don't know what it is, but it definitely looks like a house is burning up. And ask yourself, why would Beth burn up a house like that? She wouldn't have the time to do it, because I'm pretty sure if she's leaving the house, it's a reason why she's doing this. Either it's obvious that there's probably a lot of zombies in there or something, or they got spotted by zombies and zombies trying to get in. It's a reason why she was leaving the house, and she wouldn't have time to burn it. But we definitely look like a house or something burning in the background. And like I say, at this point, I think Beth is trying to push forward and not look back at her past again. And back to what I was saying about the church house that we just seen. Remember, Herschel house is not that far from the church, because after Rick and his group left the church, Carl ends up getting shot by Otis, and then they end up going to Herschel farm. So Herschel farm is not that far. As soon as they left the church house, they went to Herschel's. They ended up finding Herschel's farm, so it's not that far. And I remember Herschel mentioning that he had a wife, and her name is Josephine Green. She died, and I think Josephine Green is buried in that same in that same Baptist church, well, small Baptist church that we seen in the beginning of episode. No, in the beginning of season 2, episode 1, titled "What Lies Ahead," the church. So I think Josephine is buried at that church. And I did remember that Robert Kirkman mentioned that some of these characters will be fighting their past and struggle, and also struggle with their past to overcome their past. So I definitely see her. I definitely see Dara and Beth going back to that church again. And like I say, it's been a while now, so maybe that church got remodeled. It might not look the same. And like I mentioned about the scene, we see Daryl running through the graveyard at nighttime. He's literally running through the graveyard, and we can see headstones when he was running through. So that might be the same church. So let's continue. Next, Beth say we can stop running and we can stop scavenging food pretty much. And we see a whole bunch of zombies in that small church. It's definitely a church. If it's not the one I'm talking about, it's definitely a small Baptist church. And we can see how some of the zombies in there are hanging from rope. They pretty much committed suicide when they was in a human state. And at this point, like I say, some people just don't have the will to live in that world. Some people get tired of fighting and they want to take the easy way out because they feel they have no purpose. What's the meaning of living in that world? It's really no reason to live. And some people take the short way out. And we seeing suicide scenes a lot in The Walking Dead. We can see how these people that was once human hung themselves, and I think they did it because I think these 3 people, whoever did it, I think they did it because they also was in a church house, and maybe, like I say, maybe they was committed to God, and they probably said before they died, they probably said, "God forgive me," and they hung themselves. So yeah, this so you see Daryl run up in there, and we can see how they committed suicide. We also see more zombies within that house. And next next we see Daryl fighting off zombies, and we hear Beth screaming his name. So this promo wasn't nothing we can really go off of. Also in this episode, I do think that Daryl and Beth will find we'll find the sanctuary / tournaments, tournaments, just like Rick and his group, and also Tyrese and his group found, because I think all of them are going to meet there, including Maggie and the people that she with, like Sasha and Bob. So I think they will all meet up at the terminus this time instead of Herschel's farm. Because like I said, I do think it's possible Beth will go back to Herschel's farm and burn it. But hold up, let me say this. Now, I do understand that the owner of the farm, I'm talking about in real life, I do understand the owner of the farm had problems with people, with tourists, want to come by and check out the farm after they got through shooting season 2. And he had a problem with that. And I know some in the comments section are going to say that, but you got to remember, they can also make replicates, because if you remember the movie Amityville Horror, that's about a haunted house based on a true story. When the people had shot Amityville Horror, they didn't they didn't actually shoot from the actual real house. They made a replicate house, and they filmed in that instead. So who's to say that, Robert Kirkman and the rest of in AMC probably gave him a high enough budget to, probably make a replicate house, or it could be some digital, some type of digital stuff that they put in the background of Beth. To probably put like a digital picture or something, and have us believe like it's an actual house when it actually isn't. Could be green screen effect, or it could be an actual house, a little cheap house they build and they just burn it down like they did the farm, because they did build the farm just to burn it down. Robert Kirkman wanted to keep the farm, but AMC didn't. They wanted to burn it down. So yeah, about that. Next scene. we see Beth and we see Daryl hide within the trunk of a car. That's not too much I can touch on that. It really wasn't nothing to talk about on that. So yeah, in a next scene we see Daryl, we see Beth in the woods, and this right here is the scene where Daryl kills a snake. And also it's revealed in this scene that Daryl crossbow, his bows from his actual crossbow is becoming very weak, because when Daryl tried to kill a squirrel, the crossbow went well. He missed the squirrel, and the crossbow and the bow hit the tree. And when Daryl went by the bow, he was just looking at it and he broke it apart. So you can tell that his bows are getting weak. And you got to remember, Daryl pretty much uses the same bow all the time, because every time he kills a walk, he always takes the bow out of the walker and put it in his mouth and take off running or something. So he pretty much is using the same bows. So I would think at some point the bows will begin to weaken, and they start to break. And he was also stabbing walkers with the bows instead of shooting them from his crossbow. And it also, like I said, in this scene, he kills a rattlesnake, so you know they're really struggling when you're trying to eat a snake. And a snake, that's really bad. And also in the scene, we see Beth building a trap, and it looked like some barbed wire, and she has like some rims from a car attached to them, probably to stop the zombies, or at least, I ain't gonna say stop them, but probably give them a warning that zombies are coming to them. And next we see a scene of her building a fire, except this time it's different. She's not using no sticks and nothing. She dug a hole and threw a whole bunch of material in it and just burnt it up to make a fire this time. And then again, that scene with her building that hole and making fire could lead off to that big burn off scene that we see her walking in the front of the camera, and we see something burning. Who knows? A zombie could go over there and you could set a couple of zombies on fire. Who knows? But like I say, we might see Herschel's house again. Who knows? We might see Dale RV. And remember, Patricia and Jimmy, not Patricia is Otis' wife. She ends up getting bitten in season 2. And I remember, because matter of fact, Patricia was the reason Andrea got lost, because the reason why Andrea got lost from the group, because Andrea tried to protect Patricia from getting bitten, and Andrea had got lost. I forgot how exactly happened. And also, you have Jimmy. Now, Jimmy is Herschel's stepson. I remember Jimmy was the guy who had got bitten in an RV in the season 2 finale. So, yeah, we might see Dale RV again. Who knows? And like I say, I definitely see these characters going to the sanctuary this time, where I definitely see Beth and Daryl somehow finding the railroad and somehow going to the sanctuary. Just like everybody else is going to. So I think I pretty much, also this episode will be probably a standalone episode for just for Daryl and Beth alone. I don't think we want to see any other characters within this episode. Now am I hyped for this episode? No, because me personally, I don't know if Beth and Daryl can hold the episode now. Now they might be able to do it. I'm not saying they can't, but surprise me here. So they gotta surprise me, because I don't know if them two alone can hold a whole episode by themselves. I mean, so yeah. But I would definitely love to see Maggie, Bob, and Sasha make their appearance. But like I said, I think this is going to be just a Beth and Daryl episode. So, is there any other thing I need to touch on about this episode? No, I can't even get too many predictions on the episode, because the trailer didn't really do much. Didn't do any justice. The promos didn't do any justice for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed my preview, my predictions, and speculations video. Remember, what I say is not a fact, so if it doesn't happen, don't get mad, because I know a lot of people used to do that and say, oh, you was wrong, but don't do that, because it's just a prediction and speculation video. Remember to thumbs up the video, comment down below, leave your comments down below, and have a blessed day. Subscribe